Bickley and Marotta Mornings. Arizona Sports. The local sports leader. Bickley Blast.
The Diamondbacks are no longer 10 games over 500, which by my definition means they are no longer a serious baseball team. And by serious, I mean World Serious, a team capable of making a legit run. Now, in the standings, the Diamondbacks are still better than anyone expected, yet they're far worse than the team that looked like a championship dark horse through 50 games. They're a team that needs something, a pitcher, a slugger, an infusion of energy, and after this weekend, I'm going to do an about face and ask the Diamondbacks to enter the Shohei sweepstakes as a rental player, even if they have no shot at resigning him to a long-term contract. Now, the acquisition of Ohtani seems like a fantasy, an impossible ask, but then again, there was a time you'd never believe Kevin Durant or Bradley Beal would want to be here, so our reputation has changed in the Valley, even if our athletic fortunes have not. And the bigger issue is the Diamondbacks seem to need more than just a couple of arms to bolster their pitching staff. Their offense is also sagging. There is also the danger of civic clapback of this team free-falling from now until the end of September. It would dampen the vibe, ruin the mood at a time when some fans have to decide whether to spend more money for the television product. So yeah, it's ridiculous and improbable, but if I'm the Diamondbacks, I'm throwing my hat in the Shohei ring should he become available, because the alternative, watching a once promising team self-destruct, is the worst case scenario imaginable.
Story Lavelle yesterday asked the question, how do you get back to playing D-backs baseball? According to Dan Bickley, that way is the Shohei way.
The Shohei way. We had this argument last week. I was of the position where you're at, which was, you know what, this is not the time to go all in and sacrifice a bunch of stuff for a guy that is only going to be here 6 weeks, 7, whatever it is. And Ferret was like, heck no, you go after the guy. If you got a chance to win a championship with him, and Tim Ring said that with Shohei Ohtani, the Diamondbacks would have the best lineup in baseball. I don't know about that. But I did come around this weekend. After that sweep in Cincinnati, I'm like, you know what? This team needs something dramatic. Or they don't. It's really a matter of opinion. No, seriously, it's a matter of opinion based on what you think this team is capable of right here and now.
Yeah, I mean, that's where you're on the roller coaster, really.
It is.
It depends on what the week is, because it's been so Jekyll and Hyde with this team. When they're playing well, they're playing very well, and at the drop of a hat, they go to playing bad baseball again. You heard Torey Lovullo saying that soundbite, all the things that they're doing wrong, and he's exactly right. They're doing all of those things wrong.
Yeah.
Does one guy, and I wonder too, what, and we may find this out, and I don't think it's going to be in Arizona, but we could talk about possibilities. We deal in the possibilities
business. That's what we do. Yeah.
I'm wondering what a Shohei Ohtani rental is going to look like in terms of the haul given to the Angels.
It's a great question.
The Angels really, really messed this up.
Here's the bigger question.
They should have traded him last summer.
Yes. Here's the bigger question for you, because there are people saying right now, the Angels, you can't trade Shohei Ohtani. Not with the season he's having, not with the history he's making, not with the Angels in the playoff periphery. So, but he's in the last year of his contract. Do you let him walk for nothing?
I mean,
they might
get
think a compensatory draft pick.
Okay,
but they might think that they could re-sign him anyway. I don't know.
No. He's not re-signing with the Angels. If that were the case, he would have done it already. He's made a lot of comments about wanting to win, and the Angels have had a lot of chances to put a good team around. They've failed.
And look at it this way: there's people who have brought up the business aspect to it. What does that say to your fan base if you trade a Shohei Ohtani? Well, yesterday was the Angels' last home game before the trade deadline.
Mm-hmm.
Sunday afternoon game against the Pittsburgh Pirates. Ohtani hits a home run. You know what the attendance was? 28,000. So it's not a horrible crowd.
No.
But it's certainly not a crowd that's very hungry to watch more Shohei Ohtani baseball.
Yes, that's exactly right. And Randy Johnson had very similar issues here when he first came here. You remember that?
Yes.
It was like, what are you doing here? I'm a Hall of Famer. We've got 13,000 people in the
ballpark. I'm about to win 4 straight Cy Youngs.
Yeah. I'm on a roll, unprecedented in Major League Baseball. Where are you people?
The other thing, what you said, is like how much difference could one player make? It's not. It's two players in one player.
In one player. And it would be the juice of it all, the energy, the electricity of it all. You think the Diamondbacks would have a hard time getting people to sign up, the ones who don't have the access to them right now? No, they wouldn't. So I've done an about face of this. I thought you were ridiculous last week clinging to that. After this weekend, I'm looking at it a different way. And again, it's really improbable. But so was Kevin Durant.
Well, was it though? Because Kevin Durant identified, he wanted to come here.
Then why were we all so surprised when it happened?
And Durant wasn't a rental.
No, that is true.
That's the thing.
That's the thing. It would cost you a lot for very little if you define it that way. If you define the chance at winning a World Series as very little.
Unless you want to spend $600 million on Shohei Ohtani. Say we have a team full of cheap rookies otherwise.
Can you imagine what that would... I mean, there was a 4-year stretch where we couldn't say Zach Greinke's name without throwing his
salary figure
out there before.
Yes.
And this contract is going to be at least 3 times the amount. Maybe 4 times the amount.
Maybe 4. Yeah. It's going to be crazy.
Can I amend what I said earlier? I'm like, okay, the Diamondbacks shouldn't do anything. I don't think they should do anything in terms of a rental, even if it's Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah.
Now, if you can find players, identify players that still have some control left that can maybe help you, I'd be willing to consider it in terms of certain prospects.
Yeah.
Like, we had Mike Hazen on, and he didn't identify the list, but he said, yeah, we've got some untouchables. But he also said in that same conversation, the strength of a franchise is not having the best farm system.
Right.
It's what you're doing at the major league level.
That's right.
You look at the shortstop position now, Jordan Lawler at one point might have been an untouchable.
Is he now?
Is he untouchable?
I don't know. They just drafted a kid.
Geraldo Perdomo looks like a real good long-term solution, and now you got Tommy Troy, you got Blaze Alexander in the minors. Right. I mean, they're okay at that position.
The Tommy Troy draft pick had a lot of people go, huh.
Now, he's got some positional versatility, too.
Right. But a lot of people are like, whoa.
But they're going to slot him initially as a shortstop.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah, so I think you're right on about that. And there was a time when Brandon Pfaadt looked like a can't-miss prospect. You know? It goes to say exactly what you said. Prospects are that's what they are. That's exactly what, no more, no less.
Yeah, and we were, over the moon, over the Diamondbacks prospects that's currently in the major leagues, and I would say one of those guys has panned out very well in Corbin Carroll, but my frustration with Alek Thomas grows on a daily basis.
Yeah, no, you're right. Corbin Carroll's the one that has popped, just like we had hoped. But everybody else, I think you're right about that. It'll be interesting. There's a lot to kind of crawl through, but you pointed out the Rangers, and you're right on about that. They struck early, and they got a guy in Aroldis Chapman who hadn't been considered the same way he was 5 years ago, but he's been fantastic.
He's throwing 103 again.
Yeah. It's crazy how that happens with some pitchers, where the velocity disappears for a couple of years, then comes back. Yeah, my arm, it's healed.
How many of your top 10 prospects would it take to get 6 weeks of Shohei Ohtani? I know you've had an about face. I am not having an about face.
I know, but again, and I admit to recency bias. I really do. But like you, I watched every inning of every baseball game this weekend, and I thought, where's my baseball team at?
Mm-hmm. Shohei fix it?
I don't know.
He's not exactly fixed it over 6 years for the Angels.
It'd be fun, wouldn't it?
It would be a heck of a lot of fun. And you wouldn't have people asking, hey, what channel are the D-backs on, like you said.
No,
Everybody would know.
Oh, yes, they would.